Welcome again. We're back, except we're talking about something that actually is doing something good. Claude code. Claude. Really? Anything in the realm of Claude. I mean, in a lot of ways, they've been doing a really, really good job at the few things. They've clearly understood out of the gate that they need to start narrowing into a subset of how the AI model should do things. It really shouldn't be doing everything. It should do a few things and do them really well. With the new model Claude Opus 4.5, my team and I have been using it for quite a while, and honestly, some of the information that they've brought in here, I sort of agree with. For what we're paying like $200 a month. We get a lot of usage out of the system, and it's really good. Now, look, just like in the conversation about ChatGPT 5.2 and its models and doing all the benchmarking here, yes, their stuff looks great. It's doing amazing. At the end of the day, I think we also can agree for the average person, does the benchmarks matter? No. But does it help us actually do the thing that we needed to do? Does it understand the context, the clarity? Does it provide the depth and information necessary to progress the conversation and to progress the project or the tool or the build out forward? And in almost all cases, Claude Opus 4.5 has been doing just that. Now, as any model, it's going to need some training and some love and assistance, but I'll happily take that versus what we see here with GPT 5.2. Let's just say as an example, if we just run this as our beta, one-to-one model, right, of GPT 5.2. Does a thinner slice produce better flavor? Yes or no? Yes. Look, and this is about the fact that it's become more and more of a simple model and it's just deteriorated. However, if we go to just Claude, Opus 4.5, does it mean that, right? Immediately, I don't even care if that's a good answer. I mean, I think it's actually a good answer, but it's giving the depth and clarity and the context and the perspective of the answer that it was giving, I mean, right? It's not just no, it's no, and here is why, and here is like the rough reasoning so that way you can understand. It doesn't mean you have to agree. It means you can now hopefully understand conceptually why I gave you this answer, right? Again, it just does a great job. And look, for the most part, my team and I, we use it for development and like systems tasks or some creative tasks. We don't really use it in terms of the day-to-day, back and forth scenarios. However, it's done a really good job. Look at this. This is a perfect example of sort of like what ours looks like on a daily basis. I have to say, I am impressed at their ability to even give you this model at $200 a month, but I will routinely have us be spending $100+ a day on tokens with Claude Code. And if we did not have the $200 a month subscription and we had like an API only access, we would be evaporating our money like by nobody's business. And it is insane the value that they give you at this time. I don't see it remaining this way because they're one of the most unprofitable. Like there's a lot of them that are unprofitable. All of the biggest players in this space are unprofitable. And they aren't making money. They are making money, but they aren't making profits. Not even close. Okay, that's why we're talking about this recursive debt cycle for these businesses. However, the progress that someone like Claude has made on their models and the effectiveness of their models doing the key few tasks that they really are shining at is awesome. And I highly recommend you trying it out yourself. Look, I think I could sit here and I could keep showing you, but from my own perspective and also from others, I inherently am not a developer. I have been in the space of development, but true developers that I'm talking to and some examples I'm going to show you on here, they really feel like this is the first time where I'm like, oh shit, this stuff actually might be able to do something like for real. And let's just look at this. So, look, a few software engineers at some of the best tech told me this week my entire job these days is just prompting cursor and Claude Code with Opus 4.5 to do what I needed to do what I need and sanity checking it. Now, a key call out on that. looking at the other answer in here, is they're able to do that because they understand the development cycle, they understand coding, they understand the systems and the processes and what should be involved with, or what should be a good output, what is good code, ideally. And so they can get extremely good outputs out of an AI model, understanding where they want it to go. A lot of people, they don't get as good of results because they don't understand the structure in which it needs to follow and how to cross-check and validate when it's going off the rails and going down the wrong direction or giving you the wrong recommendation. However, looking at this, it's like 4.5 is like the first model that makes me actually fear for my job. And I've seen that and heard that a handful of times. We just launched a little bit ago, but it feels like forever, right? All the models so far were okayish at best. Opus 4.5 is really something else. People who haven't tried it yet do not know what's coming for us in the next 2 to 3 years. Hell, even the next year might be the final turning point already for a lot of people in the software and development space. Even more other industries that, let's not dive into just yet. I don't know how to adapt from here, and I can agree. It's a lot to learn. And to refigure out where you're sitting in this realm of musical chairs. And sure, I can watch Opus do all my work all day long and make sure to intervene if it fucks up here and there. But how long will it be until even that is not needed anymore? I can't give you that answer, but I will say it's a very interesting thought, which is why I say if you're going to do anything, you need to make the most out of the possibilities that you have at your fingertips with the technology today, because you don't know what is in the future. Now, I'm both pessimistic and optimistic. I really would hope for the best, but I'm also inherently pessimistic. I feel like a lot of things are not going to be used for as much good as they could be, and there's a lot of corporate greed that is going to hurt us. And it's unfortunate because there's so much positive opportunity with this, but the negatives are just so strong that I feel that people are probably going to use it in the wrong ways. And instead of furthering people, it might hurt a lot of us. And needless to say, I think that while we are all not being attacked by the magical AI overlords, we should definitely be doing something about it, which is why, again, I'm even bringing this up because I think that having an amazing tool like Claude Code and something at your fingertips gives you the opportunity to build and learn and establish yourself in a new space and maybe where you've not been before. So what feels like is like coding is basically solved already. Stuff like system design, security, etc. is all going to fall next. Now, I will say that I think that there's going to be a whole next wave of what this will catch up to and then what we'll need to have. Because there will be a turning point when AI is able to do the type of security and systems design and technology and all this lovely stuff of current day, but people are going to end up using AI to generate the next level of security that needs to be put in place to further prevent AI from solving it. However, if we even went down the tiny rabbit hole of quantum computers and AI, it's a really hard answer. In my opinion, and also this guy's, I would say, look, give it a handful of more iterations, and a lot of the tech force will feel unnecessary. It may not be unnecessary. He's saying it will be unnecessary, but it may be completely unnecessary. In my opinion, I think if you're currently a C player in the space of whatever your skill set is, and you don't upskill tremendously or add knowledge and the ability to execute or strategize or just do more work, I just don't see how you're going to make it, because an A player in your same space that then just starts understanding how to use AI or how to outsource actions or tasks and so on to AI, they're going to have such a massive leverage over you. And the reason why I even say all of this, and I'm even going to stop with what he has, is, look, even when the technology can completely replace people in a role, there is inherent scarcity for a lot of people in terms of, should I let it do that? And so there's going to be lag time between when it's able to do something and when it's going to be adopted. Now, the most risky people will take the highest amount of risk, the highest amount of leverage, and just go full bore into AI. And there is a lot of people, but it's also not nearly as many people as it may seem. However, a lot of the really big companies are able to take on or willing to take on that risk, where smaller businesses, especially like like local ones, especially aren't going to be progressing, I would say, in that direction as quickly. Likely because they're not as tech oriented, or so many of their services are not AI or enabled, or could be AI enabled, right? It might just be some of the delivery. So, look, a lot of jobs will be changed and a lot of jobs will be affected. My opinion on this is that even as crazy as all of this is, it is still an amazing time to be alive, because you have access to this knowledge and this information, and you're able to get different perspectives and try things and screw them up and do it at a fairly reasonable cost without it being a whole college degree and 4 years down, quote unquote, for a lot of people, down the gutter. You're not spending $50,000+ on education. You can go spend $200 a month, learn how to do something, build something, apply new levels of critical thinking than what you've had prior to generate. It doesn't have to be income for yourself, but knowledge, being able to leverage technology in the way that it should be used, which is to expand your mind, expand yourself, and provide value to yourself and others around you. Doesn't mean you got to charge someone, but just to provide value. And look, Claude Opus 4.5 is one of the few models, in terms of most recent launches, I would say, is truly doing that. It's not just giving us basic BS answers, and it knows the realm it should be sitting in. And if you use it in those spaces, I think you're going to have some decent success. I don't know about you, but let me know your thoughts. I'm happy to show you some stuff on what we do for prompting, or how we structure it, or how we format it to try to use it to get the results that we want. But I know there's a ton of other examples already online out there. So just let me know if you like this video, you want to hear more, or you just want me to find new information out there to make your life easier. Put them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.